Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Cole. Aaron's just rubbing in the fact that he is in a house by himself and doesn't have any children to wake up or wife.
We slum it hard, so you don't have to. I think I'll take a 10-hour nap today.
Although I took 2 separate naps last Saturday, so I can't say much. Like completely. Like I took one in the morning, woke up and ate lunch, and probably played some games on my phone, and then took another nap.
Wow.
I take 2 naps in the morning.
Living the life.
I take a whiskey nap. I take a vodka nap. I take a
log
cider
nap.
Oh. Take a cider nap.
Yeah.
Take a nap. That reminds me of the good times.
I get napped down, but I take naps again.
You're never going to wake me up.
One of my favorite jokes was when Madonna had a kid, and they said she was coming back, and then they said she did that song, but she changed it to I get knocked up, but I get down again.
My favorite was Norm Macdonald when he was like, man, the guy, whatever the husband's name was, he was like French or something. He's like, man, I got to give it up for that guy. Like, that means he had sex with Madonna without using protection. Like, that takes a lot of guts.
That's rough.
Yeah. It's funny, though.
This episode contains...
Wait, why does it take guts to... I don't understand.
Because she has many STIs. Yes.
Oh, I see.
That's what he's saying.
I see.
That's what Cole is saying.
And then this one was actually on Saturday Night Live, and Norm Macdonald said, making this the 4th largest object to ever pass through Madonna's birth canal.
Yee.
Like, that was on Saturday Night Live.
Oof.
Those are the good old days. Can we go back to those days, guys?
Where you can make fun of someone's...
where you can just
somebody
being somebody on
I want to go back.
Network television.
I don't even know how I got off the track. I want to go back. Hey. This episode is sponsored by Sinusoid Pro Audio Couture. Sinusoid's Black Friday deals start right now. It's Thanksgiving, but you can get those deals today. Right now, you can get 25% off all pre-configured guitar and pro audio cables at sinusoid.com. That includes the Dustin Kensrue signature stereo cable, the wireless pack adapters, anything from like XLR mic cables to aux cables to whatever you need. All the pre-configured stuff is 25% off right now. You can also get 15% off on all the custom shop stuff and patch cables. So if you want to build like a 900-foot Rainbow Tech Flex Van Dam, or you want to get a 2-foot slate, I don't know, you want a bundle of slivers, you want a bundle of pancakes, you want some half stubby, half pancake patch cables for your pre-mixed thing you got on your pedal board, you're going crazy, whatever you want, go build your dream cable right now for 15% off, or check out the pre-built models for 25% off all weekend at sinusoid.com.
Do you guys like the Get Up Kids?
Yeah.
I went and saw
10
them.
minutes to downtown. It's 10 minutes too far.
But, like, do you actually like them, or do you just know their most popular song?
Ooh,
freaking poser.
Sick burn.
It's not their most popular song.
Sick.
What, Out of Reach, you're saying?
No, that's not Out of Reach.
I know. You're saying Out of Reach is more popular?
No, what's that other one? I'm saying their most popular one is not that one, but it's something else. It's the one about a phone call.
Action and Action?
Yeah, I think that's probably their most popular.
Let's see what Google Music has to say about it.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Aaron's about to get
Dude,
a kid explained.
You're going to get got. You about to get got. Except I can't. I'm too stupid to do this on the fly, though.
How do you do this? Get Up Kids Most popular song. Oh,
I would think you could just like search on Google Music for the Get Up Kids, and then
I think you're right. It might be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But that song doesn't even have a video.
You guys, there's a movie on Disney Plus called Double Teamed.
Was that the sequel to Black Hole?
Why?
That.
Why?
Does the warning
There's
say?
a movie on there called Alley Cat Strike.
Does the warning on that one say that this movie contains questionable titles?
It's in the category of feel-good sports movies.
Yikes!
Oh yeah. Is it
It
basketball?
does feel good.
It is. It's a basketball movie with, I think it's two twin young ladies.
Oh, twin young ladies.
Don't Hate Me
The
is also very
WNBA's
popular.
Burge twins inspire this film.
Oh,
about
hate
sisterhood
me,
and
don't
teamwork.
hate me for running away.
Oh, you're probably thinking of Holiday.
No.
Holiday, celebrate. If we took a holiday.
It's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah.
It's a holiday
So
in
this-
Cambodia.
So this gig was at a place
Just
that
one day out of life.
probably had less than 200 people.
Fewer
It
than
would be so nice.
No, they were less than me. They were less than people.
200 less than people.
Yes. And like that is quite the life to be. So they're probably just touring and just making like a living wage that they can live off of, right?
Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, probably.
And
Well, I mean, Matt Pryor does a lot of other stuff too.
yes, but what I'm
I
saying
know
is
his
like
big thing is he does this like songwriting thing where you can like pay him to write a song for you.
yeah. But like they're on tour right now, so ostensibly that's like
right.
the
They're not
focus
making like tons of money
of what he's doing. They're not making a ton of money from it. And like any new songs he's writing, their new album, they came out with a new album just recently and it's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like pretty, I don't know, like it harkens back to their earlier stuff, but the lyrical content is obviously more mature, I
Yeah.
guess.
It's very sexual.
Yeah, it talks about like they reference that Double Team movie that Phil's talking about. But
yeah, it's like he's a middle-aged man now, so
it's got to be kind of depressing. But even then, like
yeah, the adult lyrics are like, "Hey, let's I think our kid's asleep.
Yeah.
We could have sex really
can
quick."
we do it? You can leave your
super
shirt
adult.
on. Sorry, was that too much? And it's got to be kind of depressing. So I guess what I'm saying is like of any band, it's understandable why when a band like completely change, especially punk bands, when they change their style to be lighter or to be more mainstream, like a lot of their fans rebel against that. But their new album is very good.
It's very much the Get Up Kids. Yeah.
Exactly. And still, like, the songs that get the most cheers by far are the same ones
older
that they've been
ones.
playing for 30 years. So, like, it's got to be depressing to not only you're not really making that much money from touring, but then all your fans, like, don't really appreciate anything you've done in the last 20 years. It's just, they just want you to sing that song that you did 20 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that would be,
I guess you just have to frame it like, oh, I did this thing 20 years ago and people still want to hear it.
Totally. And that's what, and he even
Like,
said
that's
that.
cool.
Like, he said that before he played Out of Reach, and he was like, yeah, this album came out because Something to Write Home About was like a pretty big, like, it was well known,
Yeah.
you know? And he was like, this is
Was
why.
that on Vagrant Records?
I can't remember. Probably. But
It was like when emo was like having a moment, and they
totally,
were kind of,
they like hit right at the right time. And he said like, oh, this, you know, we're so grateful because of this album, we're still able to come here, and you, and so he's obviously very, very self-aware that like, this is the reason you guys are all here is because of this album, you know?
yeah.
And, but it's still like got to be kind of a bummer. But because of that,
Yeah,
like,
probably.
but I appreciate the fact that he, you know, they played some of the songs off their new album, but they played a lot of the songs that people actually wanted to hear. It's freaking
Yeah.
annoying when you see some band and all they want to play. Like, that's how Dashboard Confessional is now.
They just want to play the new songs?
And like he plays songs from his other new band too.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, it's kind of, and it's like, dude, we get it, but like the reason you're selling out this huge venue is because people want to hear you play freaking Screaming Infidelities or whatever dumb song.
Right. Give the people what they want.
Did you see how they re-recorded like those 3 albums?
Which ones?
Dashboard Confessional did. Whatever the one that came out after
The Places You've Come to Fear
Places
the
You've
Most.
Come to Fear the Most.
Oh.
So the one, A Mark, A Mission, A Scar.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. A brand.
That one and the next.
It's
and
a
the
mark, a
next
mission,
2.
a brand, a scar. Aaron.
Yeah, I
Idiot.
said whatever.
Phil, can you believe this guy?
So that one and the 2 following it, he re-recorded like because apparently he said that the label and everything made him do it differently than he wanted to. So
Did he do it like
so he
more
George
acoustic-y?
Lucas.
yeah, so they're more acoustic.
He George
But
Lucas
it's like-
his own songs.
But dude, you made a ton of money
You
doing
make it
that,
so-
and that was your choice. Like no one actually forced you to. You could have said no, and then they would have been like, "All right, well, you don't get the money."
Yeah. Like
But you said, "Okay, I'll take the money."
yeah, they didn't
and do
force
what you
him
want.
to. He essentially said, "I did this so I could make money from it," and now
Now you're complaining
now
about
I
it,
want to
and
do it
now
differently.
now I'm going to do it differently and make more money.
Exactly.
Now that that's not the thing that will make me money, I'm going to do this other thing that will make me money and make me seem like I'm sticking it to the man. Years later,
So
what an idiot!
he
Not to bring
Come
up
on, Chris.
Disney Plus and Star Wars
also
again.
he is
but
insane.
Can I bring
he
up
is
Disney Plus and
insanely
Star Wars
short.
again?
He's really small.
I did. My friend had got VIP tickets and his wife got sick, so he took me like to
I'll
this.
take that as a no.
I think I've mentioned this. And so we're standing
like
in
a
this
meet
room
and
with
greet.
like 10 people, and he's playing. You know, I can like
Oh,
reach out and
crazy.
touch him, and he's there playing a few songs before
Did
the
you?
show. I did, and they were like, "Sir,
Touched him.
you can't do that." And I did it really slowly. Like I was
You're
just,
like, no, I can.
I was just
Watch.
holding out my pointer finger, and he's like, just singing, but he's like looking at me like, "What are you about to do?" And I just touched him. You know,
Did I ever tell you about the time I saw him and he shushed the crowd?
that's a great move.
What?
Because he was playing like some slow, quiet acoustic part of people
Yeah.
were talking, and so he like stopped the song, shushed everybody, and then started again.
Although I was pretty close to shushing a guy at the Get Up Kids concert. And
Oh, yeah.
this shows how much social anxiety I have. He sang Out of Reach, and he's like, sing along with me, you know. But and so like on the chorus, it's like out of sight, out of mind, out of reach, start over, and there's like an echo, start over. And so I sang that part like really loud. But on the record, it only does that on the second verse, which I obviously know that, but he told us to sing along. And like as he's playing the song, he's like, well, just sing along on the second verse right after I did that. And for the rest of the night, I was like, man, F this guy, calling me out in front of everyone like this, freaking murder this guy. When 5 seconds ago, I was like worshiping him, you know? It's like,
Just
this
sing
freaking
along in
jerk.
the second verse.
Yeah. And it's like, obviously, like nobody thought anything of me singing or like had any second thought about him saying that either. But to me, it was like, oh man, screw this guy. He's just mad because he doesn't have a real job like I do. He has to go around and play stupid shows.
What a loser who makes his money playing pop
Part of
punk
it,
music.
I think part of it really is like performing is so much fun. Like I do it for free. You know, or ostensibly I pay money to do it because all the gas and time and everything, but I still do it. So yeah, even if you're not making a ton of money, you'd still do it, I guess. Like Phil still does it. He doesn't make any money.
Phil's too busy talking about looking at Disney Plus right now.
Yeah.
Well,
Tell us about Star Wars, Phil.
so I was hearing somebody on a podcast talk about George Lucas and
It was
his
us
multiple
like 5 minutes ago.
his multiple versions of his multiple edits. And you know, back in the late
Was it
90s,
binge mode?
everybody's got super mad that he like
You changed it to have Han not shoot first.
right. So there were some other things. But
Dude,
then-
you remember when Han Solo got murdered by his son Kylo Ren
I do.
in The Force Awakens?
There's a guy
That was
named
good.
There's a
Yeah,
guy
and I
named
was kind of
Kyle in
traumatized
Star
by it.
Wars.
Thanks for bringing it up.
That was a good
Aaron.
time.
How much better would it be if his name was Kyle Ren? Like, oh hey Kyle.
Kyle Renquist.
So part of he had a tiny edit that was supposed to be
That's
released
why he
in
wanted to make such big movies, to make up for it.
2012, and he didn't release it. And then
He had a tiny edit and he couldn't even release it.
So they put it on. I guess that's in the
Disney does.
The Disney Plus one.
Dang, that is good information,
dude. I'm so glad you got that in there.
You know what?
That was a nugget.
The fact that you guys don't care is fine, but there are listeners who do care.
Yeah,
listeners,
there are people.
I hear you. I'm with you.
I mean, but you don't even seem to be excited about it.
Yeah,
You're like,
we're in this together.
I guess
it was like
one
this thing.
edit.
You gave
it's
no
like
details.
Small.
What is
I don't
the
really
edit
care about it? But it's available. Or is it? Does no one know? Is it like a secret edit?
I mean, somebody has to know now.
He added alien dialogue to the Han shot first.
Dang!
Moment.
Wait, it's still about Han shot first?
Yes.
What
movie
is that in?
Because he's a weird, grumpy old man, and he's like kind of obsessed with people being mad at him about it. I think.
Which movie is that?
In New Hope.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
It's like one of the very first scenes when he's at the bar, and is it Greedo?
So yes, it's Greedo. He added Greedo, and there isn't a translation evidently, but the implication is that Greedo is cussing at him, which is why
Greedo's like, "You better shoot me, or I'm going to kill myself." So Han was really doing something. It was compassionate of him.
So wait, originally this Han shot first, and then they edited it so that he didn't shoot first?
Yes, exactly.
Correct.
So they were trying to like retcon it to make Han a better, like, more relatable character, but in reality, it fits his character better to have him shoot first, and that's why
to be the bad guy. Yes.
Well, he's like a good
guy.
Like he's doing it for the right reasons in some ways, but also he's very self-serving, because that's like how his whole character is,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so funny that he doubled down on that too.
Because in the very strange.
It's very subtle.
Move.
The change he made to it the first time was pretty subtle, and it was only
ever think
noticed
about
by
the
huge
fact that-
nerds like Phil.
Did you ever think about this? Like Han Solo is like all about himself, and his name is
dude.
Solo.
Oh, wait a second though. I'm starting to think Luke Skywalker, and like he goes around in the sky and walks. He goes around in this guy.
Luke, this guy Walker. Luke, this
you
guy
seen
Walker.
this guy?
His name's Luke Walker, and his nickname is this guy, and so it's.
So I just want to make sure all of our listeners know that we all agree that Star Wars is a silly movie for babies.
False.
Guys, it's fine. It can be that and also be enjoyable.
The prequels are better than they get credit for, too.
Yeah, he definitely redeemed himself with episode 1. Like,
False.
The original trilogy is not that great, but
like, is that
when
now?
he brought in the little kid and like the pod racing and everything, I was like, okay, now I get it.
Is
now
that
I'm
a
on
common
board.
opinion now, Phil? Do people not hate the prequels as much as they used to, or are they still like fully on board with hating the prequels?
Well, what has the interesting thing is people that grew up
Better be interesting.
watching the prequels as children that are now adults, young adults, are saying like they have a nostalgic attachment to the prequels that older
Exactly. Like
Older
you
fans
like the
don't
stuff
have.
you saw when you were a teenager, like
right.
But I think in general there is like a lessening of the hatred for the prequels in general.
Because in reality,
Yes.
the stories, like Jar Jar Binks is awful, and that's never going to be okay or like good. But like the story, because I went back and watched all the prequels with my kids, and the stories aren't bad. Like the second one was pretty boring.
No, they make me very mad, but it's for very nerdy reasons.
It's just because you're super
Dude,
old.
Darth Maul
No.
though, he's got a lightsaber that like it's a double-sided lightsaber.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
and
Darth
then he
Maul is
gets
cool.
cut in half,
But I will say this. I
and he
think
does capoeira. Ancient Brazilian martial arts.
Inconceivable.
I will say this.
Inconceivable.
I think there was
Does anybody want a peanut?
one angle of like the hatred for the prequels was you're gonna dump 3 movies on us that none of us like, and then you're just going to walk away from it and not do anything else? You're not going to give us anything more? Because he was like, yeah, that's it. You guys are lame, so I'm not going to do more. Like I said, I might.
People were really lame.
People were lame about it.
So that was like part of what got people like more fired up.
They're like, we hate each new movie that you're doing more than the last one. Make another one.
Make another one. You idiot.
So the fact that now we will have Star Wars movies for the rest of our lives makes 1, 2, and 3 not as bad, because it's like it's not over. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but people hate 7 and 8 too.
I know, but I don't know if the same people.
Dude, but why? Did you know some people think that 7 is afraid of 8? Oh no, wait, 6 is afraid of 7. Dang it! 6 is afraid of 7. Screwed it up, idiot.
Yeah.
It is. It's like George Lucas put out a new album, and everyone was like, "No, just make albums like you used to." And it's like, no, the technology sucked back then. I'm making new music that is more relatable to how I currently live my life
now.
And then he's going on tour, and they're like, "Just play the old songs, you idiot, idiot."
Then he sold the rights to Disney, and he said, "Hey, so I'm pretty excited about. I've got some really great ideas for 7, 8, and 9. You want to hear them?" And they're like, "Okay, what are they?" And he goes, "Well, so remember when I mentioned midichlorians?" And they're like, "Uh huh."
All right, see you later, George.
And he goes,
"Peace out."
Yeah. So I was thinking that the next movie would be all about midichlorians, like it would be about
because that's what
the
people
Force
want
on a molecular level. And they're like, yeah, thanks. We'll just take your notes and take it from here. And he got mad that they kind of like
hated his terrible idea.
That they wanted to make good movies for once.
Yes.
Like, hey, we're Disney. Ever heard of us? Every movie we put out is amazing. Like, I think we got
this. It's because I think he's still like trying to appease those people who hate his movies instead of like just making good movies.
But he's not, though. He's just trying to be a huge nerd, which is what he is.
Like, no, but just like make good stories.
It's very much. I think it's very much like Bob Dylan or the Dashboard Guy, where it's like, no,
his name is Matt Pryor, Phil.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's Chris Carrabba. Don't listen to him.
Oh, the Dashboard Guy. I thought you said Get Up Kids. No, it's pronounced Chris Carrabba.
It looks like Chris Carrabba, but it's pronounced Matt Pryor.
Where
no
he's like,
knows that.
He's an artist, and he's mad that people don't like his art, and he's like, I'm going to force you. Like, I'm going to keep shoving this thing. I'm going to double down on the thing that you say you don't like.
Is that what Bob Dylan's doing?
I don't know. Does Bob Dylan do that?
No.
Well, Bob. Okay. The reason
Bob Dylan,
I brought up,
like Bob Dylan fans still love Bob Dylan. It's like casual fans who don't, because they're like, why is he singing this song for 20 minutes and I can't understand a word he's saying? And
I brought up Bob Dylan because Bob Dylan refuses to play hits.
Totally. Or he does, and like sometimes they're unrecognizable.
Right. And he'll do it like out of spite. Like, I'm going to completely rewrite the song that you claim to love.
My music
which is cool.
My concert Sherpa neighbor is a huge Bob Dylan fan, and he was telling me about this show that he saw, and Bob Dylan noticed somebody, like a famous person on the front row, and he's like, "Oh, do you have any songs you want to hear?" And the guy named a song, and he's like, "I just played that like 20 minutes ago." He's like it's like unrecognizable, you know.
Ugh.
But like, you can't expect Bob Dylan to just play some acoustic folk song.
Why?
When he has like a massive band.
Well, no, it's not even that, because he does. It'll just be like him on the stage, but like you can't understand a word he's saying, and he plays it in a completely different style than the original recording. You know.
I love him.
It is pretty great that
fine.
he's almost like succeeding in spite of himself. He's like, screw everyone. I'm just going to do this ridiculous. It's like an Andy Kaufman-esque thing that he's doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is what George Lucas was trying to do. And they're like,
George Lucas doesn't have that much self-awareness.
George Lucas is one of the nerds that hate Star Wars movies, but he's like, if I just get a little bit more nerdy, then I can turn them.
Exactly. Like the fact
They'll
that
come back to
the
me.
fact that his answer to the backlash was he needed to focus more on midichlorians. Like
I knew I
that
should have put more
insane, right?
midichlorians in there.
it's so funny. It shows like a crazy level of a lack of self-awareness, or just it shows how big of a nerd he really is. Like I guess he is a fan of.
But
his
what's
own
weird is
stupid
like
movies.
it's both super nerdy and like super arrogant.
Totally.
You know, like
because it's like it's not real.
well, but it's like, oh, this I'm gonna get him with this, and it's
Yeah.
like, what do you think is happening here? Like, an entire generation fell in love with something you did, and you're trying to like, you're antagonizing them. Like, why? Like, why are you not? You don't have to like fan service, like, you know, in every direction, but like, why are you at least not attempting a little bit to like?
It's also funny because like part of his reaction when people were mad about the prequels was like, oh, they're just stories for kids.
Yes.
But
yes.
then he's like, oh, but also let me get this intergalactic tax law
Yeah.
stuff in here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, talk about midichlorians.
yeah.
And also
Kill
like
that
the
stuff.
marital strife between Amidala and Anakin, you know.
You know, just
Let's
kids
see
stuff.
them.
Yeah,
let's
kid
show a
stuff.
scene of them arguing about their budget and how they can't make ends meet, you know. But I think it is the difference is self-awareness. Like I think he genuinely doesn't understand that is not what people want. Where Bob
Yeah, that's
Dylan,
true.
like he does understand it and it's funny to him, you know.
Oh, that might be true. That might be true. Because you're right. There is a
That might be
level.
true.
There's a level of like spectrumy behavior in it. Like he,
Yeah, you think?
he.
I wonder how he would rank
I
on
heard
that
somewhere-
empathy test. Not great.
I heard somewhere that he, somebody said, okay, so now that you sold, Lucas Films to Disney, what are you going to do? And he goes, oh, I'll continue making films. And they're like, oh, really? So what's your next project? And he goes, oh, I'm not releasing anything. I'm making films for myself.
Oh, there you go.
And
You're
not,
like, oh, then
not
why are we
just-
talking to you again?
Not just like, oh, this is my pet project, but like he literally is planning on making films and not showing them to anyone.
So weird. Because he wants people to beg. It's like when
Maybe.
somebody posts in a group that they're leaving.
He's like, he wants them to like be like, oh, please show us.
Please
And they're like,
show
oh,
us.
Thank God, we don't have to watch
like,
that crap.
oh man, that's a relief.
We really approve of this new direction you're going in. I think it's great.
Which is, it's so weird because it's like, I mean, on the one hand, it's like, okay, I understand, or I think I can understand as an artist in that medium, it's so expensive. So like,
Yeah.
you need financial backing to do what you want. And it would suck when it's like, there's all these people trying to tell you what to do about it. But now he
Right.
doesn't need anyone because he's got so much freaking money. And he did before,
Yeah.
but like, now he really can do whatever he wants.
But even then, like it's very different to have money and to have enough money to make a blockbuster movie.
But he said, I don't want to do blockbusters. I want to make movies for myself. It's so
He's
weird.
like, yeah, why would I make blockbusters? They went out of business, and they're like, George, you know, that's like a different.
I'm
But
making Hollywood videos.
I'm gonna start making. I'm gonna make Circuit Cities.
I'm making red boxes only in the new era.
It is like you do kind of admire the fact that he has enough money to self-produce, and like he can make it what he wants it to be. It's just that what he wants it to be isn't any good.
Yeah.
Like you appreciate it more when it's Louis C.K. making whatever that show was.
Oh, I was just thinking about that because I never finished it. Horace and Pete. Remember
Horace
we
and
bought
Pete.
it
Yeah,
together?
dude.
I never finished it.
It's really good. Like, you know, I know we're not allowed to think positively about anything that Louis C.K. did, but the fact that he was able to pay for it himself really did make it better, I think. And that he was
It
able
was really
he chose
interesting,
how
yeah.
to distribute it. But like that's because Louis C.K. makes interesting stuff, and it turns out the kind of stuff that George Lucas wants to make, it just isn't any good.
Except what's crazy is he did Star
Or maybe
Wars
it is.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, it is. It
That's
is
what's
weird.
so weird.
Like,
Yeah.
how was that so good? Well, and maybe it's just not that good.
It's weird that he
But,
made
like,
those
the
really bad
stories-
movies and then like came back and redeemed himself with the prequels. Like that's just crazy.
Well, you get
What
better
some
over
people-
time, you know?
What some people say
I kid.
is that
It's like when Jordan
4, 5,
came
and
back out of
6
retirement.
What some people, there's one theory that people say that 4, 5, and 6 were actually that he was doing a whole lot of collaboration. Like there was a lot of like he was and is friends with like Scorsese and like all
Yeah,
those
like Coppola and all those
you know,
guys.
Yes, exactly. They were all
Coppola.
buddies. And at the time he was like, "What do you think of this?" Like he was like actually talking with his like other filmmaker friends that are like
Yeah.
insanely
And
talented.
Quentin Tarantino's like, you got to show Leia's feet more.
Well, have you seen? Did you ever watch American
so-
Graffiti?
Yes.
It's like a very different movie. Like this is
And
George
super
Lucas.
good.
Yeah, but it's like you can see why he was like in with that crowd if you watch that movie.
Yes,
that makes
totally.
sense. That makes
Absolutely.
sense
You're right.
because what is good about about 4, 5, and 6 is the story.
Right.
Like the setting is interesting, but it seems like the story, just like on a fundamental level, on the prequels was written by a completely different person.
Because the Force doesn't need to be explained.
not
The Force
interesting.
is just there like to drive the story. That's not the important
exactly
part.
like the story is like the love stories and the father and son dynamic and all that stuff, and that's like the stories in the prequels are so like I don't know.
He's trying to
I
get
don't know the
technical
right
on
word for
everything.
it, but-
like
And they're just like very surface level. There's like no depth to any of the characters. It seems like.
it reminds me of like
Well,
you know how Back to the Future is a time travel movie,
What do
right?
you?
And the time travel is not really that
Yeah,
like
I know
well
that.
explained or anything, but it's good.
yes.
But then anytime a movie tries to like pin down exactly how time travel works, it sucks. Because that's
Yeah,
not the
'cause
point.
that
Yes.
scene on Endgame is pretty funny when they're like, yeah, if you go back in time, you're going to affect it. And they're like, no, if like you can't, something that you do in the past can't affect the future or whatever. And they're like, no, but like we learn that in every like Back to
What
the
you
Future,
do,
Hot
but
Tub
what
Time
I do
Machine,
in the
Bill and
current,
Ted's Excellent
in
Adventure.
the present future now cannot affect the past that already exists.
Yes. So Phil,
It creates
what do
a
you
new
think?
future.
What do you think makes the sequels better than the prequels? I call 4, 5, and 6 the sequels.
Yeah, and 1, 2, and 3 are the original trilogy.
They're 1, 2, and 3.
Um,
How else could you define them?
What makes 4, 5, and
Like
6
I
better
guess
than
is
1
that
to
a
3?
valid?
Yeah.
Is it valid to say that the story is much more? Like in my opinion, it is, but I haven't seen it nearly as much as you have. I'm sure.
I think okay, so he kind of started with like classic storytelling
Like tropes.
elements, you know. It really isn't. I know this is done. A lot of people are going, oh yeah, we know, but there's
They're gonna be like, "Ugh."
it's not. It's technically not a science fiction movie. It's
fantasy.
The story beats are more of a fantasy because there's a bad wizard, there's a good wizard helping
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
there's
they shoot magic at each other.
there's a princess and like there's more
Chewie
More
is basically
fantasy.
like an orc.
yeah. There's more fantasy beats than there are science fiction beats. But like he just kind of like borrowed from all these different things that like come together in this really palatable way. And it feels like the story he didn't get in the way of the story. He was kind of obsessed with it looking as good as it could with the money he had.
Which at the time
But-
was part of why it was good and successful.
Right, but he had for the first one he had nothing, like he had no budget, and so then it had to be a good story,
Yeah.
and he had something to prove, and I feel like with 1, 2, and 3 he was just kind of surrounded by a bunch of people that were like, you're a god,
Yeah.
and then he'd go, I was thinking this, and they'd be like, oh, that's amazing, right, and
It's
I
just
think
like
that's
how
kind of-
when an athlete signs their big contract, their stats always drop after they sign their big contract because like they're not trying to prove anything to anyone anymore. They've
Yes,
already made
they're not
it,
hungry.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. They're not hungry. Or why, like Conor McGregor, fell off a cliff and sucked at fighting.
Right. So I don't know. I think it's a number of those things.
There is like a certain level of like the fact that he wanted to dig more into midichlorians is very telling in the sense that nobody cares about the science. Like what they care about is the story, and if you can make like the mechanics of the universe support the story, then they're all for it. But otherwise, like we don't really care. We don't care about the science behind the force. We care about the force making it a good story.
Yeah, it's like Aaron said. Like Back to the Future is not a great movie because it's about time travel. Like the time travel is a vehicle.
Yeah, it's a great movie because this dude tries to make out with his mom. That's why I think it's a great movie.
No, she tries to make out with him.
Yeah, that's true. And I like the fact that they tried to, retcon the fact that Johnny Be Good was written by a white guy too. I appreciate that.
That is
like
good.
we'll take that from you as well. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, and that's why when people, like, when you poke holes in the time travel, like when you find inconsistencies in any movie, but like Back to the Future is a good example. It's like, well, who cares? The goal wasn't to make something that was like unimpeachable and like had perfect logic from start to finish. It was to make a good story. And, like it doesn't make sense. I've heard somebody talk about this, but like it doesn't make sense that this high school student is best friends with like this disgraced nuclear physicist either. But apparently that's just how it works there.
Yeah. I'm like a cool guy that plays guitar, and my best friend is this old man who lives on the outside of town.
Creepy old man.
Wild-eyed scientist.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, nobody thinks that's weird at all. But it's a good movie.
I think it's weird.
Should we play my
That's
game?
because
we should.
You can't appreciate the love a mother has for her child.
Mother love.
The romantic love that a mother has
lover.
for her child.
I'm a mother lover. You're a mother lover.
This episode is also sponsored by Gun Street Wiring Shop. I recently took my old Epiphone Dot Studio with some like upgraded pickups, but I threw in a new wiring harness from Gun Street Wiring Shop with some split coil options. Totally revitalized that guitar. I hadn't played it in months, nay, years. It's been sitting in a closet in a case, unloved, unwanted, unwarranted. I always liked the way that it felt, but I never liked the way it sounded. Put these new pickups in. They were okay. But I threw that Gun Street Wiring Shop harness in there with the nice capacitors and the nice pots, and it really just brought the whole thing to life. I've been playing with it more and more, kind of jamming on it, showing it to my brother-in-law earlier today, and I just really like the thing. It really brought it to life. If you have an old instrument around, something that's maybe not working quite right for you, maybe you have some weird kind of tone-shaping ideas that no one else has been able to figure out for you, and you're just kind of stuck in a rut, Gun Street Wiring Shop is the answer to your problem. Check him out. Hit up Sean at gunstreetwiringshop.com. He's down to chat with you. He's got some pre-configured options if that's what you're into. If you just want to make your telly work, if you have a shop build or something like that going on, hit him up. Sean has been a friend of the show for a while. We really like what he's doing up there, and we appreciate him sponsoring us. So hit him up, gunstreetwiringshop.com. If you join the street crew, we'll give you a special code for a special discount off anything you buy at Gun Street Wiring Shop. All right, let's do it.
Okay, let's talk about guitars now.
Let's play the game. No more
Okay,
nerd.
this
No more
game is
nerd
called-
talk. Let's try to
Guess
get obscure
nerds.
information
Freaking
about
nerds.
our hobby.
Everyone's favorite game.
Let's talk more
called-
about the rules of overtime in football. That's not nerdy.
Let's just do this.
Okay.
thing.
Everyone's favorite game called Guess If This Review Has Been Read Before. No laughs?
We're pausing
No,
for the
it's
audience
not
to
funny.
laugh.
We don't laugh at things that aren't funny.
Okay, this review is by Christian H. 1-star review. Don't buy used.
Okay.
On Amazon?
Wait, no.
Yeah,
Never mind.
no,
Don't
duh.
buy
No, this
used.
No, never mind. This one's better. Brian, this is by Brian Jacobs, 1-star review. Brand name fails on warranty. December 6, 2011. I bought the pedal name a few months ago. It worked okay for a few months. Then the delay section just died. We have been using this unit in studio the whole time with controlled power input. So the only possible cause of failure is an inherent defect in an initial component. The unit
We did our due
comes with
diligence.
a 5-year warranty.
We did diligence.
I called the brand warranty department for an RMA. Here comes the problem. The 5-year warranty is on parts only. You have to pay for labor at $40 an hour,
that is
plus
crazy.
shipping and handling both ways.
That's pretty low. $40
So if
an hour.
they take 2 hours to fix the unit and add $20 for shipping both ways, I would be paying $100 under warranty to fix a unit that costs about that new.
His math checks out.
That
so
is
that's
If
cool.
Pretty
you
crazy.
are contemplating buying a pedal name, keep in mind that the supposed 5-year warranty only covers parts after the first 90 days and is, in my opinion, therefore worthless.
That's actually pretty true. Like, I mean, the fact that warranty is useless, that's like a valid complaint that, you know, if you have to pay that much to get the thing fixed. Like, I could take a dump in a box and put a warranty on it. That's not going to... I
Parts
wish I knew
only.
that scene better.
Parts
So
only.
I could quote it
I
better.
could find a steak if up a bull's. Wait,
I
what is
shoved my
it?
head up a bull's ass.
Oh, that's
What? Wait, is Tommy Boy on Disney Plus? Because I will sign up right now.
no. It's got to be your bull.
Oh, that was like people would say I remind them of Chris Farley, and that's fattest.
Oh,
You know, it's like it's just because I'm fat. I don't actually act like
And
that.
hilarious.
and you smell like you're dead.
And I'm addicted to cocaine.
And you act like a drug addict. Okay, so what
And
are your
David
guesses?
Spade can't stop talking about you.
People say I remind them of Artie Lang, but like current day Artie Lang. It's like that's not nice. Like you don't have a
say
suffering.
I have
nose
no
looks
idea.
like
All I
Artie
know is it
Lang.
costs about $100.
Yeah, we got almost nothing. Although, if we picture like 2011 was a pretty different landscape. So is it like TC Electronic?
No.
Boss?
Yes.
Boss Blues Driver.
No.
Boss Delay Pedal.
Yes.
Is it
DD7.
DD
DD5. DD6. DD4.
No.
DD5.
No.
DD3?
DD3.
No. Ooh. 69 points to Aaron.
Whatever, I said it
I
first!
said it first.
You did not.
You were too busy
I have
saying
the
things
recording.
that don't exist.
I said DD4,
All right,
yeah.
maybe.
Next review.
DD4 don't
Can
exist.
we talk
This
about
is
how
by-
Aaron likes the DD3?
I love it.
This is by Justin J. Lorio. 1-star review.
Fake name. 100% fake
Might
name.
not be worth it. ... October 9th,
Should
2019.
give him more than 1 stars if he's still on the fence about it.
I bought this pedal in July and stuck it on my board. It seemed to be very noisy when engaged and not the normal slight hiss hum that a high gain pedal will make when it's turned up. This pedal makes a high pitch noise, but I didn't want to believe it was the unit. And I have since tried different power supplies and have run it alone with no other pedals straight into my amp. Nope, still noisy. Unfortunately, it's basically unusable. Seems built well and looks good, and maybe I got a bad example, but I can't say that it's worth the price. I waited to review this because I really wanted it to be a decent pedal, so I tried it out in a few different setups. Too bad.
So sad.
What was the year again?
October 2019.
Ooh.
Oh, as a side note, it would be funny if you started redacting things that aren't important. Like when you say pedal name, I purchased pedal name period of time ago from retailer. It's a high gain pedal. Is it a fuzz-ish pedal? Like, is it a very high gain distortion fuzz type thing?
It does not say.
Oh my gosh, I'm murdering you.
How many knobs does it have?
4 knobs.
It arranged in like a square pattern.
Yes.
Equals
Is it
size.
Jehus?
They are all equal in size.
Are they
JHS?
fluted?
It is not JHS.
Earthquaker?
It is not Earthquaker.
Walrus?
Is it a
It is not
Wampler pedal?
Walrus. It is not Wampler.
Oh, is it Electroharmonics?
It is not.
Is it MXR? Is it
No.
Boss?
No.
Is it Chupacabra?
No.
Dang. Is it TC Electronic?
No.
Is it more than $150?
Is
No.
it less than $150?
Yes.
Oh, that was good because it could have been exactly $150.
What's the over under?
People, just try to learn the basics of
$150.
gambling.
$150.
Don't make yourself look like an
is
idiot.
it a boutique brand?
It is not.
Is it a full tone?
It is not.
it?
It's less than $150.
Yeah.
So it's got to be like TC.
It's not TC. Is it Ibanez?
It's not Ehix.
It is not
Is
Ibanez.
it Morley? Is it
No.
Leslie?
Is it Leslie?
No.
Stupid. Is it the same as Mountley?
Hey-oh. Is it Fewerly?
Um,
Come on, that's a good joke,
that's
Aaron.
good. Can you give us some more
You're
information?
just not laughing.
or hints?
Technically, it is less. Single foot switch is it like the same in normal
Single
size?
foot switch. Yes. Yes.
Standard
Yes.
like metal foot switch.
Yes.
This game has devolved into Phil reads a nonsensical review and then we just narrow it down
It has nothing to do with the pedal.
based on the same generic questions.
No, it's just this is like playing the game Guess Who, except we're doing it.
What
with
I'm
pedals.
saying is the reviews are not related to the game at all.
Yeah. You could just say pedal, and then we start guessing
Yeah.
from that.
no. There's hints.
Not very often.
You have
Well, that it's a high gain, and that it makes a squealing sound. It's less than $150.
You guys whine every time I do
I
it.
don't whine every time. Sometimes we dine.
That's because sometimes we 69.
This okay.
If
I'll
you
tell you
didn't
this.
do it, if you did it better, we wouldn't whine as much.
You're George Lucas.
And we are nerds
Been
from the
same.
70s.
It's been the same every time. It's been the same every time. Okay, this is what I know all three of us know as a brand that makes amps first.
VHT?
Is it Supro?
No.
Marshall?
Supro?
What?
Friedman?
No.
No, because it's cheap. It's got to be like,
Yeah.
do they make cheap amps?
Hughes
No.
and Kettner?
They
No.
make expensive amps?
Morgan?
Not.
Are they
I don't-
are they one of the huge amp manufacturers?
They're a name that I know you.
Is it Agnator?
I know all of us know. Not Agnator.
Mesa
They're
Boogie?
closer to Marshall than VHT.
Yes, they are closer to Marshall than VHT.
Vox?
No.
Vox?
Vox. Not Fender, right?
Not Fender.
Gibson?
They mostly make amps.
Not Gibson.
Marshall?
No.
It's closer to Marshall.
I mean, that is closer to Marshall than VHT.
What kind of
right
amps
on.
do they make?
They are known
Is it
for
orange?
high. No.
Yellow?
Deitzel?
What?
Deitzel? Diesel?
They're known for high gain amps?
High. Yes. They're.
Freaking Black Star? Do they make
No,
pedals?
They do. But it's not.
Is it like a modern brand?
You're gonna be so mad.
I'm
when you-
already mad.
Touche.
You're gonna be so mad.
It's a standard enclosed. What color is it?
Black. Blick.
Does it have? Are there amps black? Answer the question.
Yes. Yes. For the most part, yes.
Man, I feel like this is going to be really obvious when you're. They also are known to make pedals. This isn't going to be like VHT where we had no idea they actually made pedals.
I did not know that they made pedals.
Oh, great.
Hell's bells.
Well, that just sucks.
Hell but.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Or
so we
just
can
give us
move
some
on.
more hints that are good and helpful.
No.
Okay.
Mesa Boogie.
I said that. Yes,
said
I
Mesa
did.
Boogie a long time ago. That was one of
Well,
the
then
first
if you
ones
said
you
it-
said.
If you said it, it was you. We were both freaking talking, and I couldn't hear both of you.
I don't see how that could possibly be true.
Boogie Distortion. Twin Note. All right, last review.
Is
Last
this a
review
pedal
is
that
by-
we might have
this
heard
is
of
by-
in the history of the universe?
Yes, this
Okay.
one is.
Thank you.
This is Double D.
Now we're talking.
1-star review. This pedal is made in China and is defective. October 29th, 2019.
Are those two things related, or
This pedal did not work. I put this pedal in the same position on a pedal board as another delay pedal, so I know the pedal sequencing works. I made sure there was at least an extra 100 milliamps of headroom on the power daisy chain I was running, and the effects loop cut volume by 95% or so. I thought maybe the pedal was drawing more than the 138 milliamps that was listed in the instruction manual. I provided the
digital
pedal with
delay.
its own 1,400 milliamps power supply. No change. Then I took the pedal off the board and ran the guitar right to the input jack and ran the output right to the amp. It just doesn't work. So I am returning it. This pedal is defective. Hoping they are all not like this.
well, obviously
Then
they're not
I
all
flipped
like
the pedal
that.
over and it says it was made in China. Shocker that it doesn't work. Unlike high quality pedals like MXR, Dunlop that are made in the USA.
No, they're not,
Apparently,
first of all.
brand name pedals are not. Weird. I doubt I will ever buy a brand name for this reason. The electronics just won't be very good. Too
you
bad
think-
it was a great concept for a pedal.
If you think that electronics made in the USA are superior to electronics made in China, then you are a stupid person.
Correct.
Because we do not make electronics well.
Is it Joyo DC'd? Dual
No.
channel digital delay?
No, it's got to be.
It's got to be something that you would not
It's got to be a
expect.
company. It's got to be an American company.
It's the Electro
Like
Harmonics,
or something.
Ocean, Canyons.
Oh. Canyons. No, what's
No.
the? Not the Oceans. What's the big delay that they had? Was it the Canyon?
The Grand Canyon is the delay on reverb. Is it that?
Is it Electro-Harmonix?
No.
Is it Boss?
No.
Boss isn't made in China.
It would be funny if it was Boss, because it's like, well, they wouldn't have been made in America anyways. It would have been made in Japan, you idiot.
Is it a company that
Is it a big...
seems to be an American company?
Yeah. Yes.
So it's not MXR.
Is it a boutique company?
Not a boutique company.
Is it Full Tone? Oh, wait, no.
Oh, is it TC?
No.
Is it a flashback?
They're not electric. I mean, they're not American.
Yeah, but you might think they're American
Yeah, you might.
if you're an idiot.
If you're a freaking idiot.
Is it? It's a delay pedal, right?
If you're the kind of person who
The
thinks
thing
China
is-
can't make good electronics.
Yeah,
It
like you're
doesn't
posting
say-
it from your $2,000 computer that was made in China, you idiot.
The title does not mention delay, which I find...
Well, he said he swapped it out for another delay pedal. Why would you
I
say it
know.
like that? Like
I know. It's
The title of what?
of the
title
pedal?
of the
Pedal title? So, the title of the pedal?
What's the author of the pedal? No, but is it a delay pedal? Like
No,
most
it's
delay
not a
pedals don't
delay
have
pedal?
delay in the name.
I don't believe this is a delay
But you
pedal.
don't know.
Does it have tap tempo?
No.
How many foot switches?
2.
With
What do they say on them?
The name of the effects.
Ooh, is it like a dual modulation? Is one of them a modulation? Is it like one of those Jimi Hendrix weirdness things where it's a fuzz and a whatever else he uses, Univibe or whatever? Hello? Are you dead?
I said no.
Oh.
I said no.
You cut out. So I'm not even on the trail there? Is it a dual? Is it two distinct effects?
Yes, it is.
Are either of them overdrive of sorts?
No.
Are they modulation?
Yes, sort of. No.
Is one of them reverb?
Yes.
Okay. It's made in China. Everything's made in China, you freaking
is the
idiot.
other one reverb?
So
Yeah, I
sick
know.
of that.
That's what I was thinking.
Idiot.
Like, dude,
Like literally
I don't
everything
think
in your house
anything's
was made in
America.
China, you moron. If you'd been made in China, you wouldn't be so stupid.
That's where they make stuff.
Yeah. So it's not boutique, you said?
it is not.
How many knobs does it have?
Good question. 6.
Didn't get us any closer. It's not Keeley? Keeley's
No.
boutique, right?
Their stuff's made in America, I believe.
I would call them boutique.
Well, I mean, they're probably, like, they assemble the final pieces, but the freaking circuit boards aren't made in America.
But if you flip the pedal over and look at the back, it wouldn't say made in China on it.
Yes, very fair. It's a fair point. Yeah, neither does Electro-Harmonix, but that's a lie. Man.
There's a town in China called America.
USA.
There's like a distinct difference between made in America and made in USA. Have you guys ever read about that?
No.
Oh.
But it's more interesting than this game right now to me, so why don't you tell us about it?
It's reverb and some kind of modulation.
It's reverb and something else.
The Echo?
Tell us what the other thing
Echo?
is. If it's echo and you said it's not a delay pedal, I'm going to murder you and your family.
It's not echo. What goes with reverb traditionally?
Delay, Phil.
Tremolo.
Is it
Oh,
Strymon?
it's a freaking...
It's not Strymon.
It's the... Dang it. It's not Boss, TC,
It's not Boss.
EHX.
None of those.
It's a brand that's been around forever.
The brand, yes.
Digitech or DOD? DOD?
No.
Well, I mean, you're acting like that was such a stupid
Is
guess.
it
You're not really
is
giving us
it
much to go
the
off of here.
Offender one?
Yes.
What is it called? Oh, is it the tree verb?
Yes.
Nice.
69 points for Cole.
Fender tree verb.
This guy is mad that pedal. What an idiot. I give that guy 1 star.
Yeah. The pedal's overall rating is 4.5 stars. So,
but also, just like how bad of an understanding do you have of just how the world works to think, like, oh, I hope they're not all defective out of the box. Like, yeah, dude, they probably aren't. Otherwise, Fender would be struggling, guy. Like, if literally every pedal was defective out of the box. But, like, of course, some of them are going to be, because the world isn't perfect, you know.
I hope they're not all defective.
Like,
doesn't this feel like?
But
an
why,
okay
though? Because
boomer?
if you hate
Like,
them
this is
for
when
making
we
their
say,
pedals
okay,
in
boomer.
China, he probably does want them to be defective so that this company that ships all his jobs over to China will go out of business.
It's true.
Idiot.
Thanks for friendship.
What?
What?
So, Phil, I think the game was a rousing success. I think we can all agree on
Here's
that.
what I think. Okay. Assign the game to one of the Star Wars movies.
The Christmas special.
I'm going to say it was... Okay, I'm going to say it was... What's the one where
hurt?
he gets his arms and legs burned off?
That's episode 3.
What's it called?
Arms
though?
and legs? Burned off?
Yeah, he's like standing in...
Doesn't he,
Revenge of the Sith.
Is it Revenge of the Sith?
doesn't he just get his...
He's like standing...
A fifth?
He's like standing in lava. Walking up a lava
Oh, that's
hill.
episode 3.
Yeah, but what is it
He
called?
rolls into lava.
Is it?
Episode
It's not
3.
Revenge of the Sith, is it? Oh, yeah, it is Revenge of the Sith.
No.
Because it's the something, and then it's the Clone Wars, and then Revenge of the Sith.
Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, I'm going to say this game was
Revenge
Revenge of the Sith. Not bad, but not the best.
Dude, Natalie Portman, though.
Natalie Portman. Keira Knightley was in those movies, too. As Natalie Portman.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She was like the decoy,
Yeah.
right? Oh, those movies are so good.
Decoy. You know who doesn't get enough
Double
credit is
decoy, if you know what I'm
Palpatine.
talking about.
That guy.
I mean, he's the emperor. I think he's got enough credit just by his actual
But I'm
position
talking about
in the
like
government.
people like don't like him enough as a person.
Yeah.
Credit. He doesn't get enough credit for bringing the galaxy
Yes.
together.
You're saying people
Yeah.
don't appreciate his morals and values enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at the security.
he made the
and
space
stability
trains.
he provided.
He made the space trains run on time. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen anything about that Taika Waititi movie?
I really want to watch
he
it. I've
plays
heard
Hitler?
that it's good.
No.
It looks so
It's
good.
called
Do you know what the premise
Jojo
is, Phil?
Rabbit.
Yes.
That he's like this.
The kid has an imaginary Hitler.
Yeah. Dude, he is so funny. I haven't seen. My brother was telling me about the something of the Wilder People. That was another movie of his. It's apparently amazing, but I can't watch it for free anywhere. So whatever.
It's on Disney Plus.
I ain't gonna pay. Yeah, but it's in like 4:3 aspect ratio. Screw that. Think how many jokes you're gonna miss out on. All the visual jokes. Okay.
Guys,
Thanks
thanks
for
for friendship. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Thanks for listening to us. Please give us... No, you know what? Don't give us money this week if you're not already. But check out our sponsors. They're good people doing good stuff.
If you were going to sign up for Patreon, don't, but email Phil and say, I didn't because of you.
Yes. Let him know. And
Just for the record, Phil, I don't think the game is any worse or better than it's always been.
I'm just
Thank you,
giving
Cole.
you a hard time.
I wouldn't necessarily take that as a compliment, but it is my stance.
The game that our viewers love.
Do they? Viewers, write in.
You know why they love it? Honestly, here's why they love
TheFierceSlum
it.
at
They don't love me
gmail.com.
reading the reviews.
They love us getting
you
angry at
guys.
you.
Yes, they love you guys getting angry
Which is
while I read the
totally-
reviews.
I've been told by multiple people in completely unrelated scenarios that it is fun to make me angry, and I don't know how I feel
I don't
about
get
that.
it.
But apparently that's the general consensus. Is that people enjoy making me angry.
Well, Phil, sell lots of brownies. Don't let your school go under.
Thank you.
Don't let your meatloaf.
I'm just glad that we live in a country where you have to have a bake sale to make sure your school has everything it needs. That's great.
So great.
So great.
I like the fact that, like, if you get cancer, you have to start, like, a GoFundMe just so you can try not to die.
Me too.
That's my favorite part.
Try not to.
Remember back before the internet when you just had to, like, put a bucket at the local gas station and hope people dropped money in it?
Yikes.
Yeah, dude. Or you just, like, stand outside of Albertsons
Nope.
as people are walking in. Those are the good old
Thanks for
days.
friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
And then you die of polio. Thanks for friendship.